Hello everybody, you're here with Claro Beauty with your host Claudia Lara. Thank you very much for tuning in. So I know it's been a while, but today I'm very excited. I've been waiting to make this video and it is about Guerlain. There was a new launch with the Guerlain Meteorites. They were reformulated and I got two colors. I want to compare it with a very old Meteorites. I'm sure you don't even recognize this type of container, but we'll be showing that. I have the brush and I'm going to be making a full face of Guerlain. I love this company. I love this brand. And so here we are. We're going to use bronzer, blush, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so some of my favorites. So, hi, how are you? I know it's been a very while, but I haven't stopped thinking about you and the channel. And so here we are. And of course, I'll do a little follow-up video later on. A lot of things are going on in my life. And so, yeah, finally I got home, by the way. We haven't moved yet, but that's coming. So if you're interested on the Guerlain, keep on watching. And if you're interested on the follow-up of what's happening, I will make a video. So here we go. Keep on watching and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. It will be a mix later on. Is being makeup and fragrance so far, but I will be talking about emotions and life things. So that's coming. That's coming. So anyhow, let's begin. So what do I have on my face? Just my regular, serum moisturizer. For those of you being with me, I use Mila Morsi. That's most of the stuff I use, from toner, everything else. There is a video about that if you want to see that. But that's what I have on my face. That's it. And excuse me, right before I started the video, I look at my eyebrows and I'm like, oh my God. So I plug them real quick. This part, just because I don't have much eyebrow, but any hair here makes the hoodiness or this fall part look more substantial. So of course I immediately plug it out. So if it's a little red, I don't think it is. That's what it is. Okay, and also, I don't know if it's menopause or what's going on, but I'm getting all these red dots. That's sort of new for me. So we'll see how that develops. Okay, so what are we going to do today? I got these samples of the Guerlain Parure Gold 24K. This is kind of a primer. It says Base Satin Perfectrice. Concentrate the clot, hydration 24 hours. So this is a Radiance Booster Perfection Primer. And I have used it. This is an open one. We're going to use it here before. I don't know how much I have left over on this other packet. I think it's going to be a full face. So from these little samples, I got two times use. So it feels fresh. You're like, of course it's turning me red a little bit, but that's common for me from most products. So it feels as if it's a little jelly serumy. It's like a jelly but thin, and it did feel refreshing. And I'm sure if you do like a exfoliator cleansing and then put this products, probably is gonna even look better. When you go into any modeling photo shoots, all of those things, they usually massage their faces and then do a facial, and then because it makes a big difference for sure. Not just the makeup you use and the products you use, but the whole ritual of cleansing, exfoliating, moisturizing, all of that. But see, my red went away. It feels I don't feel stretching, but it feels like something just went like cook, cook. So probably it's gonna plump up my skin. So it feels great. It feels delicious. So I haven't tried this with, well, no. I did try it with my Chantecaille Future Skin Gel Foundation, which is the one I wear every day. And it felt good. It felt good, and if it says 24 hours hydration, that's welcome. The Chantecaille is also hydration. I put everything that is hydration to my skin because I have dry skin. And so it performed very well. I haven't tried it with my Surat foundation, the Skin Dew Surat foundation. That is probably my prefer when I'm doing an event or a full makeup. So I haven't tried it with that, but I will eventually because I use that one with its own brand primer, which is also very good. But so far, I really like the way this one feels. Okay, did I ramble too much? Hope not. So, I don't have the Guerlain foundation anymore. Maybe I do, but I didn't pull that out. What I want to try here with you is the Guerlain Le Teint. It's kind of a tint foundation. Now, I got a sample and it's the color 1N. I already tried this, so I already know how it feels, how it performs, and of course, performs great. And we're gonna see together here how it looks. So I really recommend it. Now, it is a little more coverage that I use every day. That's why I use my Chantecaille. But if I had a full makeup event, or even if you have a little more normal skin, I have dry skin, but if you have normal, I think it's gonna be good, and even oily, because it's not like dewy and wetty or too hydrating, and it's not too radiant either. It's kind of not matte, but it just gives you a very neutral canvas, which I appreciate. Now, it does have more coverage than I usually wear every day, and if I would be going into the office or something more socially, perhaps I could wear this because it is for every day, as long as you use very tiny little bit. Of course, you can build it up. I barely have any left, but you'll see it'll be more than plenty. So let's just a finger. I'm gonna use two brushes. Look how little I'm using, and look. You can see immediately how it looks on top of my skin already. So it does give you this beautiful kind of gel canvas on top, but you don't even feel it. So I'm gonna put it first on this side of my face, so you see the difference between one and the other. And of course, I'm using very, very, very little. Now I'm gonna use my Chantecaille foundation brush. I really, really like this. Now, I like this for my Westman Atelier, and I like it like for this kind of foundations where it's a little thicker. For my everyday, I use a different brush, which you'll see. But for a little thicker, sort of creamy, but look at that. I like this brush a lot because it gives me control and it spreads nicely. And it doesn't spray the product too much where you lose the coverage. But look at that. Holy moly. This is gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. It just looks like my skin, but in a mattified, coherent sort of way. It doesn't feel heavy. I mean, I forgot I have it on. So that's something I really like. I'm gonna put here, you see, I had a little bit of red. Even the red dots here, it really covered. So it feels almost like if it was a concealer kind of consistency in the sense of coverage. I'm putting a little bit on my eye because I use my foundation as a primer of my eye. It's not super priming or whitening everything, but that's exactly what I like, just a tiny bit. So my skin and my coloring still goes through. That's just my preference. You see those hairs? Those are because I plucked my eyebrows right before coming. And I had already washed my face and do all the hydrating, so I was not going to do all that again. So excuse all my little hairs. It's not coming from the brush, I promise you. All right, so, oh my God. I really, really like this. If I was doing a full face of makeup every day, not very natural, nonchalant like I do, I would like this quite a bit. Now, if you've been with me, you know more or less, you know my Chantecaille is my everyday. It's a little more radiant and dewy. But for everyday kind of makeup that I'm referring to this one, I will use the No. 1 of Chanel or I would use the Dior Forever. And so the comparison with this feels a little more hydrating, even though it doesn't look like a hydrating. I think the other two I mentioned have a little bit more radiance. This is just beautiful, perfect canvas. I mean, and remember, I put so little. If I want more coverage, and we'll put a little bit more just so you see, you can build this up. So that's with and that's without. Given this size, I have this red dot, which doesn't help, but look at the red here and my under eyes. I'm a little tired. And look at this. You see how it just, poof, nice, nice. All right, well, there you go. Do I recommend this? Yes, of course. So I'm gonna put, and look how little I have in there. I mean, this is, and I'm gonna just take that. Well, that's maybe a little too little, but take that. And then that's all I need, especially under the arms, around my nose. Oh, that red dot that I don't know what's going on with that. It's relatively new, that red dot, because I got it when I moved to Washington. If you're new with me, I moved from Florida to the state of Washington a year ago. And that red dot came with the move. Maybe it was the stress. Maybe it was the stripe of the tiger, right? Of the stress of the move. Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, yeah. So I haven't changed the brush like I told you I would. I guess I could do it on the top because I really like this brush. Why? It's a little more condensed and tinier. And it just works perfect. I mean, the one I always use is the IT number 5. It's dual. And it's a little more, it's bigger head. I mean, let me compare it to the other one. It's bigger head. It's round, little doe. This is the Chantecaille. This one has a little incline and it's a lot smaller. Well, not a lot, but it is. This is round. So this one spreads more of the product. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have like 3 or 4 of this ones. This has been my favorite. So I like it because it makes everything look more natural, less. So let me see. Well, of course it applied it well. It's my favorite brush. Look at that between this side and that side, right? Well, I might like it better. I'm not sure for this product. But because this product had so much coverage, and I do have to be a tiny little bit more careful than my Chantecaille. My Chantecaille, I put it almost like if it was a cream or a moisturizer. Well, with the brush. But, and it works. This one I like to be a little more precise and cover the things. But now that I went with this on top of it, it spreads it a little bit more. You see that? This is a little more concise or a little more together than this one. So yeah, but if I'm wearing this foundation, I want the full coverage. So I still prefer this application. So I will go with the Chantecaille brush or a little more concise sort of brush. But hey, this looks beautiful. I don't feel it on. I feel my face moisturized, even though I have dry skin. So I really, really, really like this product. So again, this is the Guerlain Le Teint. And it is a small bottle, so even for traveling. So I really recommend it. I might get one eventually. Not right now because I barely use foundation, but eventually, really, really recommend it. All right, so let's continue. Because then I wrap up, blah, 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 and we don't move on long. Okay, so let's start with the bronzer. Now, I have the Terracotta Light 00 Light Cool. Okay, and this is what it looks like. Now, I don't know if I have the regular bronzers, which is just one color all over. There were always towards warmer, towards orange for me. But when this came, just because this has a little bit of that pink in there and a little bit of the light bronzing, the combination really works for me. I like this, which is 00, and I like the, I think it's the 02. So there's another one. There's 4 colors. And I like 2 that are not together. So I think it must be the 02, which is a little stronger pink. Those are the 2 that I really like. But I got this one. And believe it or not, I do pull it often. So I'm using the Sonya G, and I love this brush with the Niji. And I think this is still available on Beautylish. So I like it for this bronzer specifically because I'm not afraid. The powder melts into your skin, really spreads out. So I don't have to be very precise. You know, there's some bronzers that you want to be precise. If not, you look stained. This one, I'm not afraid of going. So I can do that. I can do this. I can even put it here, you know, if I really wanted to. So again, this brush for me and this bronzer are a marriage. I put a little bit here for my hoodiness. I always like to bring some depth into my eyes. So look how beautiful. Now I can build this bronzer up and look even more bronze. I'm really just doing it for shading. This I feel kind of makes my face a little skinnier, and it does give me some color, and it starts shaping, and especially after this kind of foundation where it's really kind of white out. But look at that. So very, very beautiful. I like this bronzer. And yes, I eventually will get the other color that I mentioned, probably 01, 02. It's a little bit stronger, a little bit bolder. This is the one recommended for light skin, and this is the one I got. All right. Then we're gonna do the blush. Now, this one's just came out. I got the 01. There are 4 color blushes that came out. And I did swatch them at the store. So the coral, definitely too orange for me. So there's one that is very mauve. The 2 of the 4 colors are too strong for me, and you would have to be very careful to apply them because they are bold. They're beautiful, beautiful. And I've seen some YouTubers with light skin that do wear them. Even the person that helped me at the store, you know, recommended you could wear them. But to me, it was just too strong. I don't like to have to be very careful to apply and everything. But this one and this is the 01. The 00 is also very, very nice. It's lighter than this. And I have too many of those very light, sort of pinkish. So that's why I got this one. This is the second on the light to dark. And I really like it. It does have some lilac to it. And it does have some warm within the lilac. So it's not warm towards the orange, but warm towards the lilac. Let me swatch it there for you. I don't know if you can tell. So it is pink, but it gives a little warmth to it. And warmth, not brown or orange, but a little brown. And let me swatch it next to the bronzer. I mean, obviously the bronzer is warm. But look how it looks on my face. It doesn't look this orangey. And remember, I applied it, you know, not being scared. And now we're gonna put this pop of color in my cheeks. That's why this combination is perfect. But don't get me wrong, I've had this for a year or 2, and I wear it with other blushes and it works fine. I just, you know, I usually like the combining the products from the same brand. Now you can apply it obviously with the same brush, or you can use a smaller brush. I'm going to use this Sonya G, what is this? Cheek Pro. This is for the blush, just in the cheek, just kind of here and on the top to blend it all together. And again, if you get the lighter of these blushes, then it just gives it like a smooth part and not so much the pink color. For my complexion, I actually appreciate a little bit more. If not, I look a little more brown and warm, and I don't like that. So that's why I prefer this brush, because it kind of melts it all together. However, my emphasis is more, like I said, here and here. But it touches everywhere, right? But look at that. Really like this. I actually just had a trip, and this is all I took, the Guerlain, the Guerlain products. So I like it. Okay. Now, the features, which is the powders. Let me just put a little bit of lipstick. So with this idea that this one has a little bit of lilac hue to it, when I said a little bit of warmth, lilac to it, and I feel this is the theme. I'm seeing a lot of lilac lately, and I will be doing a video with some of the lilac blush and things like that. I mean, I'm talking like the Dior, the Guerlain. Look at this one. I just bought this. I know it's a parenthesis. Look at that lilac. Oh. And I have some makeup by Mario. I mean, a lot of things with lilac hue. I'll be making that video next. But so where was I? Oh, so because of that, I got very excited. If you've been with me, you know I'm very big on the Kiss Kiss from Guerlain, and I have like all the colors. I only have here with me 2, but one of them is the lavender. And the reason I pull this out is because I think, again, this lilac tendency. So whatever lipstick you want to wear, if you wear something like this on top or underneath, will give that hue, you know? This is Balms. Now, these are very expensive. My mom said, well, at least they have a very nice container. It's true. They have a very nice container. I debated, is this? Yeah, Guerlain. So, yeah, this is the fancy. You're paying for money. The Balm, to me, it is worthwhile. It is different than anything else. And I own the Chanel, the Dior's, and Chantecaille and many other balms. But to me, this makes a big difference. Just feels delicious. I don't know why. And this is the one I wear before going to bed or waking up. Of course, not this color. I have a lighter color. But this I like for this type of bringing the violet or that lilac hue. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. All of that just for that. Anyhow, so we're going to get to the powders. Also, I have their new lip oils. We'll put some at the end, just so you know that's coming. And just by the way, those just launched. And it is very interesting with lip oils because I used to have my favorite with, what's the name of this company? Oh my God. And they just came out, renew their, well, maybe I'll remember at the end. So those were my favorite. And then they, with the pandemic, they were gone. And so then I started ordering the Dior. And Dior become the lip oil of my choice. I have most of the colors. But now Guerlain came out with their lip oils. And I really like them. They're hand in hand. I'll do a video in comparison of all those lip oils. Anyhow, let's go to the feature of this video. I can't believe it took me all this long to get to the Meteorites. Okay, so I ordered 2. Why 2? They had this new color, which is 01 Pearly White. Now, okay, it's not that hard, but it's not that easy. I mean, you just have to, right, pull it out. So here it is, the B, which they have it in everything. And then they have a little sponge. I think they always had a sponge. I saw some YouTubers saying that that was new, but I have here a very old, and it does have a sponge. So I don't know what they're saying that this is new. Perhaps I missed it well before they stopped putting the sponge, but I'll show you a very old one where it also comes with a sponge. Anyway, so it has a sponge. Some people say you can use this to apply it, but others say that this is just to protect the balls and the powder from inside. So I don't know. I try to put it with this, and I think it was too much. We'll try it together here. But so this is the white. It has come pearly because some have more some have a little more sparkle to them, and then there's the violet, pinkish, and then there's the white. So there's like 5 different colors in there. But I was very attracted to this. At that time, I saw many pictures of a lot of makeup. I mean, Chanel and Dior that were doing a lot of white underneath, and they were doing a lot of pastels. I mean, I even got the eyeliner from Victoria Beckham. I don't know if you, oh, I don't have it here. But there's this new color, very green. Oh, here. Okay, so this is the Seafoam. Have you seen this? This color? So I keep seeing a lot of this pastel either in green, in violet. Here's the thing. Violet, blue. I mean, Chanel came out with that very pastel blue kind of eyeshadow, and now they're coming with this lilacs, and then there's this foamy. So there's all this pastel. So a lot of it had also the white pearly thing, and so I liked it. I was like, that's different. That's why I ordered this. And the O2 I ordered because that has been my color forever. This is the one I always have ordered for myself. They have many different colors for light, medium, and dark. And some of them have a little warm. So some people say they can use it for blush or for bronzing or for coloring on the skin. It's just not, that's not for me. I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because this has a lot of radiance. I mean, that's why I originally purchased it. It gives radiance to your skin. Of course, nowadays, all foundations and all these different things have highlight radiance, this and that. So they're not so predominant. But back on the day, there was not a lot of that. It was more like the foundation I'm wearing today with just plain. And so I would add the Meteorites if I wanted that radiance. And oh my God, it was a hit. It was like my best secret, right, when I was young. Of course, it was not a secret because I would share it. But so anyhow, so look at all the different colors. You have the pink, the green, but pastels, right? And this used to be, or is, my kind of color transparent, the powder I will use. So that's why I order both. Now, let me show you before I apply them. Let me show you my prehistoric. I mean, you would say, why you even keep this? I don't know, sentimental value, and also they still work for me. I mean, these ones are supposed to be very organic and better for your skin now. I think they don't make it with talc. I'm not sure if this one has talc. You can still kind of read. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. I mean, this is probably gross to show, but this is being loved. And let me see what it looks like. So, yeah, it's not carton, or maybe it is. It's just, it has that sticker, gold sticker, that makes it almost look like metallic. See, it's plastic. But, so it's not carton, it's plastic, and then that sticker. But it used to look so luxurious back on the day. Anyway, so it has this coverage. Okay, it's broken. Because I travel with this. I used to, oh my God, this is, I'm talking, it's probably like 20 years old. Now, could it be? Could it be? Maybe. So it has this sponge. It's not a sponge, this was a cover. So maybe that's what it's changed. And then look at that. So this used to be full. They used to really fill them up. I see now the containers are smaller and it seems like less because this is used up. But let's compare the balls. So this is color O2. Okay. So, It looks almost the same, almost, not quite, but almost. This one looks a little more pastel-y. It has those balls, I don't know if you see on the top there, that look a little bit more rose gold or a little rosy. This one looks a little more straightforward, pastels and a little bolder. This one looks more pastel-y, right? Anyhow, I know they have reduced the amount that they put in their containers. Let's see. Let's see if I can read how much the old one had. So this one has 29 grams net worth of 1 ounce. And this ones have 20 grams. So nice grams less. But anyhow, I mean, this is a little old, should be retired. That's why I ordered this one. However, I must confess, I don't love it as much. Why? I don't know. The formula has changed. I mean, we know it's changed because it's cleaner, but it has changed. So let's apply it. Let's apply it. And blah, blah, blah. By the way, well, the brush that I always wear this with is La Mer, huge brush. This one I think is discontinued. So, but I did get the Guerlain brush, and it came out with this pouch and this. Do I have the box for it? In this box, and so I have used this already. So this is more concise. It's a little less. It's not that it's not soft, but this is real hair, so it does make a difference. This is probably synthetic. It's a little more concise. I wouldn't say harsh, but it's less soft. So a big difference, right? This is supposed to be perfect because it fits on the container, right? But I have to say, and of course, that's the beauty. So this is what it is on the pictures when you see it to buy it. And I really love the container. I like them more than the previous that were more silver. This is more gold. I like it. But I love this design. So I ordered it. But I was a little disappointed because I really thought this had a cover. I would have really, really liked a cover. Why? If you've been with me, I've talked about this, especially when I have shared about the Meteorites. I like a brush that has a top because I put it in, get the powder, and put this on my purse. And then throughout the day, I pull it out and refresh. And that usually makes a huge difference on my makeup. You don't have to put much, but that renews kind of the radiance and the colors, and or dried sweat if you go dancing. I mean, I know it sounds a little gross, but it works. So I really wish this had a cover. Because now, I mean, I still order because of that to put on my vanity because I really like the design. But now you have to put it like this. I mean, because of course you can put it laid down, right? But so you can see the design. But most likely I put it like this standing up, and then I don't see the design. So I really wish it had a top. Let me see if I have one here. No, I don't have here the Dior, which I have recommended like that. And I have here one from Walgreens that I have taken with me in the purse. But I heard there's another one. Oh, what's the name of that brand? Okay, I'm not going to remember. I'm terrible. It's one of those Japanese brands that it has the cover, and I probably will order. It's black with flowers. Yeah, I want that brush. Anyhow, so we're going to use a little bit of this. Okay, so I'm going to put one color and one color. You'll see the difference. I'm not sure if you want me to put it a little bit with the sponge. It has too much product. What I did, especially on the white, is take the brush to the sponge instead of the inside the container. And that even works. But let's see if I just apply it here. Maybe it was because I had just opened it that it was just too much. Well, I put it right here. You can see the powder flying, I hope. Oh, that's beautiful. I put it here, not here. I don't know if you can see the little white. Oh my God, this is gonna be hard to show. All right, I didn't want to put as much, but let's do this. Because when I tried it, I could see it. So let's see. Can you see it? I don't like this. You can see it whited up a little bit. I mean, a little bit. The whole point is just to bring a little bit of whiteness, pearly, a little bit of that snowy white. I would use this more when I'm doing a little more pastel-y or a little more pinkish, a little more spring sort of look with this white. Because today we use a lot of warmth, lilac, but it's in the warm side colors. So the white really shows different. But still, look how it written. Oh yeah, it brought light. I really like this white. It really, I mean, do you see a difference? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. So let's do, should I apply with a brush or, I will use a brush after, but I just want you to see how it looks with the sponge. I don't think I will wear it with the sponge. So, but let's do it with the sponge so we can compare exactly the two colors. And also if I overdo it a little bit here with you guys, it's okay because I want it to show. So I'm using the other sponge. Do you see how this has a little bit of white pearly? And this one is just kind of my skin. Or it just brings, you know, that lavender, but it brings the radiance. That's what I'm looking for. It brings radiance and it is my skin color. It doesn't shift. This one does bring a little more whitening. Unless you see something different, let me know. So let's apply the rest of the face. I just put it here because I just wanted to see if you could tell the difference. We always welcome radiance under our eyes because it just brings the whole thing, right? I mean, for sure. So now I'm going to use the brush. This is the, you can see the powder. This is the O2 Cool. Oof, probably woke you up. And then now I'm gonna just apply it everywhere on my side. Radiance all over. I mean, look at the difference here to here. Now, I tell you, if you put this at the end of any makeup, you will get people to say, oh my God, your skin looks so beautiful. Oh my God, because it has something. It's almost like it's beauty through. Now, for me, this is not a day wear. Of course, it looks so natural, it could. But for me, I always use Meteorites when it was a full makeup thing for a full event. And I can look like a princess, you know, like, that doesn't apply now. My face is more of an older woman, but when I was young and a doncella, and I just look pretty and shining through and full of life, it would go. Yes, I'm still full of life and all that, but I feel silly now. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is O2. Now let's go with the white. I tried this, guys. I don't think, cleaning up the brush, I don't think I will use the white all over. I like it under my eye. I do like it for a certain look, but it's not my skin color, right? So maybe if you have a little more cool tone and lighter than me, fair, this will be perfect for you. But, I mean, I can pull it off. But again, I think I will pull it off when I'm going for that kind of cooler, snowy something look. And this is more my natural skin color. I don't know, maybe you tell me you like it better. It does make me look younger because every time I use something that makes my skin cooler tone, it helps. Every time I use something that is my color, yellow, a little more yellow, because my undertone is yellow, I feel it doesn't work that well with me. Most people want that. Most people want warmth, tanner sort of look. With me, I feel I like more cooling tone. Why? You know, Snow White and all of that. This one is more the Italian Mediterranean, which I love, but it's not my skin. But anyway. And this foundation, even though it's very close to my skin color, has a little tint of that yellowing. Most foundations have a little tint more yellowish and a little cooler. I tend to love the ones that have a little more rosy. And now that's the trend. You went from rosy with everything, and then now it's lilac with everything. So we're getting to that. Anyhow, so with that rosy with everything and pastels, this 00, and this brush, you know, once you apply it, it really melts and brings the whole look together. Imagine now you put a setting spray. I don't like setting sprays. I just feel it just, you know, my whole face. But that is the point of a setting spray. And if you want your makeup to last, that's what you do. For me, nah. Even at night, even when I went out all night, I still setting spray, not my biggest. But I guess if you're in the beauty industry and you want it to just stay put, red carpet, something like that, then setting spray, right? Setting spray, just once in a while. Anyway, well, that's it. We have the 00. Now, let's see what would happen. I'm going to apply it with the La Mer brush. This is how I used to. And most important, if you use it in your neck, in your shoulders and things like that, it really smooths up everything. It makes it look younger, nicer. Even if you're young, just gives it radiance. So there you go. What else do I have? Well, I think I can do another for lips. But just for now, let's add a little bit of this. What color is this? Oh, we were in the violet. So what color is this? Lavender glow. Let's put a little lavender glow. I will put a little more pinkish at this moment, but since I've been talking about lavender, oh yeah. Oh yeah. It just feels warm and it does have a flavor. It has a little lavender sort of flavor. Right? Okay, now that I put all the Meteorites, sometimes, not all the time, I do like to go back and reapply a little bit of the blush, just so I don't on top of it. There you go. You see that? Yeah. Not everything else, but usually I go back and add a little bit of the blush so it is on top of the powder. And sometimes I will reapply a little bit of my eyebrow. And of course, I would recommend to put mascara after you do all of this powder. And then that's it. Good to go, right? Well, thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this review. I was looking at my white here. Let me just apply a little bit of the other color on the bottom. See if you can see any difference. I don't think you're going to be able to see any difference, but so the 02 and the 00. Is it 00 and 02? Is that, am I saying it right? This is 01 and this is 02. Okay. So 01 and 02. You see, this is more my skin color, and this gives it a little bit of white. But it gives that smooth, young sort of skin. This is what happens when you apply it over here. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. And please ring the bell in the right-hand corner so you know when I upload new videos, since I'm not so consistent. And please comment down below. Did you get this? Is it still on trend? I mean, it came out not too long ago. Is it past? Did everybody already forgot about this? Did you get this? Tell me all about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.